Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. Hey, what's up everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG. And today I thought I would go ahead and open up a Modern Horizons Play Booster box for me. There is still some fun stuff that I'm hunting for, more copies of Cameo and Ocelot Pride and, well, fetch lands. And I generally think that MH3 play boxes might be one of the better, I won't say values, but yeah, I guess like value is the right word for it. Like, I think it's probably one of the higher floor products relative to cost. As of the filming of this video, these boxes are sitting right about $230, $240. And that seems a little bit high, but keep in mind these play booster boxes actually do have the full complement of 36 packs, and that's kind of comparable when you think back to like Modern Horizons 2. Like draft boxes were like 210, set boxes actually got up to like 275 at one point, but they were usually around 230, 240. So this feels like not ridiculously inflated like some of the collector box market. In addition to that, we talked about this in the past, but there's a number of uncommons in this set that are like $4, $5, $6, $7. And I think that certainly helps as well. When you think, consistently you can probably get between $20 and $30 in value out of your uncommons. I think that that's pretty stellar as well. All right. That being said, let's just keep diving on in. We start off with Pearl Ear Imperial Advisor. Not one of the chase hits I'm looking for there, but that's okay. I do think one of the strengths is, so what's interesting is I believe there's 24 mythics in this set. I think there's 24 mythics, and I think like 10 of them under $5. So what's wild is, like, yes, while there's Ocelot Pride and Flage and Tameo, a couple others in there, Ugin's Labyrinth, I think that the value in this is really driven by largely by the fact that there's a lot of really good rares. There's a number of rares between like $3 and $10. And then, of course, you got some of your good rares in that. Ooh, there's a mythic. Hey, I'll take a borderless Flage. Nice. I think Flages are sitting, like, they're down. I think the regular copies might be sub 10 now. But borderless Flage, if you're going to get one of the mythics in a borderless copy, this is definitely one of them. Like, again, that's up there with Tameo and Ocelot Pride. So that is a good start for us. I don't mind that at all. I do think that the medallions are kind of slowly creeping their way back up as well. I think the Jet and the Ruby are back up to like 8+. I would not be surprised if Emerald is still under 3, but I will put it up top as a card I enjoy. Some of those good uncommons we're looking for are Sink in a Stupor, Fell the Profane, Witch Enchanter, and Consign to Memory. Those are the ones we are seeking. I think Sink in a Stupor is like 7, and I think the rest are like between 4 and 5. And as uncommons, that's really good. Okay. Next up, Collective Resistance. Rare is Detectives Phoenix there. Sure. I don't mind that borderless Flage at all, though. I actually don't have a ton of copies of Flage. I loaded them at one point, and I was like, I'll get more at some point. I just haven't completed that at some point yet. Kind of the same with my Tameos. I think I unloaded them when we were like 40, and then, they're still like sitting at 30, so it's not like they've really dropped. Ooh, a foil rare. That's Roshin, Mirroring Prophet. All right. Less exciting. Wheel of Potential. Bogart Trawlers. That's a solid uncommon as well. But now what's funny is I've been like, just as like I don't quite call it a pet project, but as an aside, it's not a main focus, but I'm venturing towards building a legacy deck, and I'm like, well, kind of need Tameos for that. And then I think I need one copy of Ocelot Pride to complete a playset. And of course, I got to have a playset of my Ocelot Prides. Next up, we have Knoll Drifter. Knoll Drifter actually might be above 3. I don't quite recall. I will put it below and possibly be wrong about that. Buried Alive. I love me some Buried Alive. Hey, there's Azlask. So we got a mythic from the commander slot, or from, not really slot, but there's a mythic commander, borderless Azlask. Ravager. Yeah, cool. I definitely do not mind Buried Alive. Buried Alive used to be a very, I'll say very, but a pretty valuable uncommon. It was like $5, $6 or something like that. No longer the case, but after the reprint in MH3, but I don't mind that. Okay. Next rare is Flare of Malice, our first flare of the box. None of the flares, like Flare of Denial, hey, Vexing Bubble. None of the flares really took off. I think the Flare Denial, the blue one, is still in the $5 to $6 range for the base copy. The white one probably carries some value from commander purposes. Flare of Fortitude. Cultivation, and that's the green one. And the blue one came out with a lot of hype and didn't quite get there. Could also use some more copies of Psychic Frog. So if this box wishes it so, I would not be upset about that. All right, Disruptor Flute. Crick, Son of Yawgmoth. All right. There's all those good rares I was talking about. Arena of Glory, Kozilek's Command. More medallions. Warren Soul Trader. Those are what we need. Next, I'll take an Arena of Glory. Sweet. Sylvan Safekeeper is another one. I think Arena's still $7 to $8. It was like it's 13 at some point. But this is a very good land. That one and the green one, Shifting Woodland, I would not mind pulling a copy of that either. But I will certainly take the Arena of Glory. And as I mentioned, like, I think one of the big pros about this set is that from a floor standpoint, you have a set that has just a ton of $3 to $8 rares in it. It does sort of soften the landing if you don't hit any of the big stuff. All right, Fathomable Truths. There's a mythic. It's Birthing Ritual. Okay, Birthing Ritual, not a top tier rare, but I do believe that I think it's above $5. I think Ritual is about I'm gonna call it like $5 or $6. I think it was above that mark. Meltdown. Collective Resistance, sure. And that will do it there. But I don't mind that. Hoping, ooh, we've not seen fetch lands yet. Yeah, where are my fetch lands at? Leave some spots there for that. Leave some room there. Hoping that on average we should probably see around 6 mythics per box. What is that? Oh, Borderless Primal Prayers. That's kind of cool. I love the art on this. Can't fault that. Really neat. Love I'm a big fan of the reimaginings done with energy, of older cards done with energy. I think that's neat. I'm going to put that up top. Might not be $3, but I still like it. Okay. We are we are heading towards the end of column number 1 here. There's Gold Stamp card. Foil Forest. Junk Diver. Rare is Harbinger of the Seas. Sweet. Harbinger's a few bucks for sure. I don't mind that. Very nice. Cephaloid Coliseum was a very good reprint to have in this set. Really needed one. Okay, and last pack of the first column. Overall, not a bad little first column. Hoping we see at least 3 fetch lands out of this box. I think 2 or 3 is kind of the average. Uncommon Ghostfire Slice. Rare is, hey, there's a flare. Sweet. There's one of the ones we'd want, right? Flare of Denial. Again, I think still like $5 or $6. And I did hear that it was seeing some level of play as well in Nantuko, Springheart Nantuko. I think Nantuko is still above 3. It's in that 3 to 5 range. And then your Pearl Medallion. The Pearl and the Emerald would be the lesser of the 5 medallions, but it is a medallion nonetheless. I will still put it up top, although I'm not quite sure it's above 3. Above that $3 mark. But, hey, you know what? 3 mythics, a Borderless Flage, a Flare of Denial, Arena of Glory, and a Harbinger, all out of the first column. That's a solid start. Let's keep that energy going. Would also not mind if we were being greedy and requesting mythics, a Ulamog, the Defiler. That would be great. There's our second Flare of the box. That is a Retro Frame Flare of Cultivation. I don't remember. I don't think it is. I'm going to put it on the bottom. It could be wrong. Oh, hey, Recruiter of the Guard. These have fallen back down, but at one point, these were actually like, what, $15 to $18 again? I don't think they're anywhere close to that anymore, but At least as a reprint mythic, I don't mind that. Stump Stomp. It's Recruiter now. Is it 5? I think it's above 5. And that is our 4th mythic of the box. One of those being a borderless commander. We also have Birthing Ritual. And of course the borderless Flage. Lifelink Rat. Alright, foil rare. Hey, Philia. A foil Philia is cool. Philia still has some value as well. I think the regular copy of Philia is like in the $3 range, so yeah, foil might have a little bit too extra. That is our 2nd foil rare of the box. Thief of Existence. There we go, sweet. $7 uncommon, yes please. With Sink into Stupor. Quite a card. Let me do some maneuvering because I do want to I want to highlight the uncommons to see how many of those $4 to $5 uncommons we get out of this box. There's one of them. Would not mind multiple copies of Sink into Stupor, that is for sure. Alright, trucking right along here. Rare is, hey, Warren Soul Trader. Sweet. Again, I think Soul Trader is actually one of the more valuable rares in this set. I believe this is in the like $13 neighborhood. Followed by, ooh, Borderless Orum's Chant. Neat. So we've had a couple of nice Borderless hits there. Orum's Chant, I think the base copy is $4 to $5. I'm going to say the Borderless might be $1 or $2 above that. So I'm going to guess in the $6 range. Could be a little off there. Orum's Chant was, bless my heart, like with a throwback machine. I saw that it was seeing a run with Isochron Scepter again, and I was like, wow, what year is it? What year is it that we have Isochron Scepter and Orum's Chant running around? Glaring Fleshraker is a very good uncommon as well. I think Fleshraker sees a little bit of play in Legacy. Eldrazi Legacy, right? All right. Probably approaching the halfway point in the box. There we go. We are on the board with our first of our fetch lands. I believe... Oh, I can't remember. I think Flooded Strand's up there now. Like, Polluted Delta, I believe, is still the most valuable, but then after that, I think is Flooded Strand. Windswept Teeth is at the bottom. Bloodstained Mire's up there as well. Excellent. Now it's all coming together. Got a bunch of the value rares. Got our first fetch land. Hopefully we see at least a couple more. And this is why I enjoy the MH3 opening experience. The Necro Bloom. Eldrazi Linebreaker. Jeez, Kappa Cannoneer, sure. Triple rare pack. The Turtle Warrior is almost unstoppable sometimes. Ward 4 is pretty ridiculous. Okay. Uncommon Mob. Rare is, sure, we'll double up on our Flare of Cultivations. At least if we're hitting the flares, we hit 2 of the greens and 1 of the black, and then, but we have hit at least the Flare of Denial as well. I don't mind that. Copy Crook. Yep. Okay. The only thing, what's funny is the only thing we're probably most light on the fact that we've only hit one of those 4 uncommons that are between $4 and $5. Foil Plains. Ooh, foil Cephalid Coliseum. That's kind of neat. Rare is Echoes of Eternity. Very solid for colorless commanders. In that, usually in that colorless commander deck, this is pretty much a house, but doesn't see a lot of play outside of that. Still a very good card. Urza's Cape's probably a couple bucks still too. Didn't mention it amongst those high-end uncommons, but it is, I think, still a couple of bucks. Noteworthy value. I also would not mind, I guess, if we talked about the other mythics, but like if I was being less greedy and as far as like another mythic I could use a copy of that's not necessarily like gangbusters on value would be a Johnny. Hey, wow. Doubling up on Soul Trader. This one in the retro frame. It's funny, there's a couple boxes ago we had a borderless, and the borderless I think it was like 22 bucks. Anyways, and a regular copy. This one we're doubling up on Soul Trader. We have it in the retro frame and the regular version. That is as one of the more valuable cards in the set, Witch Enchanter, finally. Cool. $4 to $5 right there. It's one of the more valuable rares in the set. Again, Soul Trader besides like besides the fetch lands, it might actually be the most valuable rare. So doubling up on that, not a terrible place to be. Foil, retro frame foil unstable amulet. That's kind of neat. I mean, you don't see a ton of retro frame foils in the non-collector boxes. Kozilek's Command. There we go. Sweet. I think Command is like 6 to 7 still. Just keep piling up that pile there. Consign to Memory. Nice. On the board with one of those. Again, sitting between 4 and 5. Another solid pack. Kozilek's Command. That is a kind of a messed up, well, I'll say messed up, but it's a really good Magic card. All right, 3 packs left in this middle column. If we can add a couple more fetch lands to this box and then one of those high-end mythics, preferably one of those ones I was looking for, this will be a very good box. And that's not going to get it done. That's Arna Kennerid, Sky Captain. That is, it's like the opposite of what I just said with the valuable mythics. Sundering Eruption. Yep. Okay. Bad. 2 packs left in this middle column. Arna's like, did you summon me? No, I did not. Absolutely not. Get back in the box. You're done. You're not Ocelot Bride. You're not Tameo. Okay. Hey, Marionette Apprentice is actually a pretty good uncommon as well. Rare Shifting Woodland. Sweet. So of the rare land cycle on the non-fetches, we got Arena of Glory and we got Shifting Woodland. Those are the 2 you would want to see for sure. I think Woodland is by $5. Another Marionette Apprentice. Neat. Okay. Last pack of the middle column. Yes, Wooded Foothills on the board with our second fetch land. It is a Wooded Foothills. Y'all know me. I'll take all the fetch lands you want to give me. Fanatic of Ronus, also one of those better rares. I think between 5 and 7 last I checked. Altasaur. Okay, here we go. We head into the last column of the box. I would like to see another couple of those uncommons come out of this last, but honestly, like if you just look at this side over, we are on the board with 2 fetch lands. We've got a ton of the $3 to $12 rares that you want to see out of the set. It's kind of just the fact that we've only really hit Flage as one of those more desirable mythics. If we can correct that just a little bit, this box is going to be quite good. One more fetch land and one of those impact mythics. The outlook on this box is quite good. Here we go. Kozilek, the Broken Reality. Well, he is a spaghetti monster. Not quite the one I was looking for. In fact, if you were to rank them in this set, Kozilek is definitely the lesser of the 3, at least in terms of value. There are some staunch Kozilek defenders out there. That's fine. But I think Kozilek's like, what, $5 to $6? But, hey, you know what? Not bad. Behind that is a Windswept Heath, which is our 3rd fetch land of the box. And that at least brings us up to like the box average, maybe even on the higher end of average, because I think it's typically like 2 to 3. Yes, we've seen 4. Yes, I've had 5. But the average would be 3 and 2 to 3. And so I don't mind that. That's really good. All right. Wither in Bloom. Rare is Power Balance. Jet Medallion. Neat. Again, I think the Jet Medallion is back up to $8+. $8+. And Ophel the Profane, which is one of those modal lands that's between 4 and 5. So now that pile, I mean, this is, I would say, at least $20 right there, just in those impact uncommons. So again, that's just one of the things I would point out, like as far as like a value proposition for MH3 play boxes, and why I think they're actually pretty good value at their current price point. All right, Reform. Rare is Amphibian Downpour. Breaker of Creation. All right. Come on, Tamio. Come on, Ocelot Pride. If you're looking for singles, you should probably just buy them. Opening entire boxes of cards for 1 to 2 cards is not usually the way to go. Not something I can necessarily recommend. Kudo, King Among Bears. All right. We got like 8 packs left. That feels like enough for an Ajani, Ocelot Pride, and or Tamio. All right. Ooh, little foil snow-covered waste. Yeah. Yes! Yes! There we go. Now we're cooking. There we go. Tamio, Inquisitive Student. Very good Magic card, and something I personally needed more copies of for myself. Wonderful. What was I just saying? If you need cards, you just open packs until you get the one you got, and it's bound to come. It's basically, that's what I was just saying, right? Like, I'm kidding. All right. Cool. Well, that definitely changes the outlook of this box. I feel very good about this box now, having gotten a Tamio, the Borderless Flage, sitting on 3 fetch lands, and having gotten a lot of the good value rares. Now I kind of feel like the rest is gravy. Argent Deus. Hey, Sylvan Safekeeper. Sweet. Safekeeper's still around $5 to $6. It got up as high as 10 at one point, and I unloaded a bunch of copies, and then they're sitting at like 5 to 6 right now. So that is, again, still one of those rares where you're like, yeah, I'm not sad about seeing that. Cool. Very cool. All right. Six is also still a good rare as well. I want to say it is above. I want to say it's above 4. Reform, Glasswing. Yep. Okay. I've seen 6 at one point, but I can't say that I looked at it recently, so I'm kind of like erring on the side of caution. I might actually be like $5 to $7, but 4 seems fairly safe. Just winging it. Archway of Innovation. Yeah, we're done with the land cycle. We don't need any more of the rare lands if they're not fetches. Amped Raptor. Aren't you banned? Get out of here. Not allowed to be here anymore. All right. 4 packs left. Oh, so happy with that Tamio. Very cool. Eviscerator's Insight. Rare is Devourer of Destiny. Also does see some play in those Eldrazi decks. Okay. 2 packs, 3 packs. Rare is Flare of Duplication. So we hit, no, we haven't hit the white one, but we now have hit 2 greens, the blue, the black, and now the red. Sure, I actually don't mind the Flare of Duplication. It feels a little bit, it's not valuable, but it feels actually a little bit like a card that has some potential in the future. I mean, free spell to copy a target's sword, instant or sorcery and choose new targets. Like, I know you have to sacrifice a red creature, but there are actually a non-token red creature, but those actually feel bountiful, right? Like, that seems not that hard. All right. We have, next up, we have Genku Future Shaper. Hey, Sapphire Medallion. All right, there we go. So, I think the only one we didn't hit was Ruby. That's also pretty wild. Sapphire seems like it's above 3. Wumpus. There it is. All right. Last pack. Any juice to end on? mythic. Shadow of the Second Sun. That's not a good mythic. It is, I'll say, not a valuable mythic. How about we'll put it that way? Because every time I say it's not a good mythic, someone's like, oh, actually, I use that in this deck. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Congratulations. Like, I'm not putting you down if you're finding use for these cards. But when we're talking about value, this is one of those 10 mythics that is under $5 right now. You go over there. Retro Frame Marionette Apprentice, sure. Actually, so what's interesting is this box was actually kind of light on those 4 uncommons, right? We got one of each, but normally, I will say more often than not, like you'll probably double up on at least one of these. So you'll end up with like 2 Fail the Profanes and 2 Witch Hunters or Witch Enchanters, and then 1 Consign and 1 Sink and Stupor or whatever else. So this is actually a little bit light there, but even still, like at bare minimum, that is, you're getting $20 from the uncommons, and I think it's more likely that you're probably getting, like I said, doubling up on them, and usually getting at least 30 back from just those uncommons. To this box in particular, I'm actually pretty happy with this. Like I won't feign being upset. Like, would I have loved to have have it all and hit Ugin's Labyrinth and hit Ocelot Pride and hit Phyrexian Tower as well? Of course. But as far as like a box opening experience from MH3 is concerned, I can't be upset about this. I got one of the 2 impact cards I was most looking for. I am not upset about a Borderless Phage as well. We did hit 3 of the fetch lands as well, and I'm always happy to have more of those, especially the allied ones, because I don't have a ton of those. And then in the rares, like, I think we did quite well in the rares, doubling up on Warren Soul Trader as one of the more valuable rares in the set. Another Kozilek's Command, love to see it. Flare of Denial and Harbinger and Arena of Glory, yes please. Borderless Orm's Chant, and then again, just in this row right here is a slew of rares that are probably between $3 to $7 a piece. And I think this is a pretty good understanding of why I like MH3, why I keep coming back with it. I think it has a high floor. I think it's a pretty good opening experience. There's a ton of playables. Even the stuff that I haven't pointed out as necessarily having value doesn't mean that they're not playable, right? Like Cephaloid Coliseum and Urza's Cave and some of those other uncommons. Like, there's some really good stuff in here. So anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. And by all means, drop me some comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody. And be well.